Because it was a small group of people, it was the best training ever because you ended up having to do everything. The Olympics were going on. I think it was like in Lillehammer. And there would be like a call every week with all the people at the time from CBS on this call. And they would go through every single thing that was going on the air. And then there would be a little bit of time at the end of it to talk about the basketball games that were also on from the States. There was a threat of a snowstorm. One of our coaches called us up and said, I'm not going to make it to the location of the game. And now, we're looking outside and it's not snowing and there's nothing, but he had just sort of made the decision they weren't going to be doing that game. So of course it fell to the youngest person in the organization to have to sit on the call. So like, oh, Teri, you go on the CBS call and you tell them that we're not going to have that game on for them and we're going to replace it with this game. So I sit on this call for, 50 minutes. They go through each thing. Here's what's happening at ski jumping. Here's what's happening with the luge. Here's what's happening with ice skating. And then at the end, they say, does anybody else have anything? And I kind of squeak, say, hi, this is Teri Schindler. I'm in Providence, Rhode Island. And they kind of mocked me and they said, okay, Teri Schindler in Providence, Rhode Island, first time caller. Why are you on? I said, well, I'm here at the Big East and I'm here to tell you that we're not going to have the matchup that you thought we were going to have on Saturday, and, would like to replace it with a different matchup. And there's just dead silence. So there must be 50 people on this call. There's dead silence. And the guy says, Teri, it snows 3 feet every night here in Lillehammer, and we're having the Olympics. How much could it possibly be snowing in Providence, Rhode Island, that you can't have this game? And I was like, I have no answer, right? So I said, nevertheless, we're going to have this game. And so anyways, we got another game on. But while this was happening, they all started calling me and they're like, well, who deals with satellite transmission? And I said, well, I do. Well, who deals with the team, calling the teams and letting them know what's happening? I do. Well, who deals with the production? I do. And the one guy just finally stopped and he said, who are you? But it really gets to the point of when you work with a small team, and this is really relevant right now, I think, for people, because with AI, this is going to be more and more common. It was a small team. We were using, at the time, state-of-the-art technologies to put games on the air. And so it didn't take that many people. I was in charge of every single step of that voyage, including producing the game. And so it was the kind of experience that you can't buy.